Hey, what's happening, everybody? Matt and Ryan with the DFS 5 packet. It is that time of the day where we break down a little overlay fantasy sports. One of the things I want to discuss, two things actually, before we get into today's plays. So I was talking with a couple of the guys over there, and one of the things that we're really trying to encourage people to check out is kind of like the real life action. You can see yesterday that there was a payoff cutoff at the line of 8-4. I went 7-5. I was one game down away from winning the money. However, you can see that a late hustle by Damian Lillard over Spencer Dinwiddie was enough to push my record down. But I'm up late night checking that out, and it did the same exact thing in my head-to-head contest. So I'm sitting there just watching Lillard just praise. He made a couple shots right in a row, and I'm just like, dude, you got to stop this, man. You are killing me. But that is ultimately where we want to go in situations like this. I was also watching LeBron and Anthony Davis real close, as that was one of my other backup ones. And they were real tight, almost the inverse of what they did the day before that, where James ended up beating Davis by like 3 points. So that is the user and player experience they're trying to give you. You know exactly who you're rooting for. And it really lets you hone in on what you're rooting at.
For sure. And, I love that. And one thing I haven't even brought up to you, I don't know if you saw this, and it might have only been for the Thanksgiving Day football slate, but they had like a contest where you only picked 5. It was like a pick 5. That was awesome too. So I like how they're kind of spreading it around and changing things up. Excuse me if I can talk. Hopefully they start adding more stuff like that. I know they're just growing, so can't expect all that stuff at the beginning, but I love the little twists and turns,
The other thing that's cool is, you guys remember when DK came out and winning money was simple? It felt really, really easy if you know what you're doing, because you were competing against a bunch of other people. Like, get in on some of these websites early when it's not full of sharks, because someday in 10 years down the road or whatever it is, like, this will probably be like a couple like FanDuel, you know what I mean, where there's a million really quality players on there, and it's just not as easy. So it's been fun early on. We're going to continue to talk about it a lot. They're going to be a big part of what we're doing moving forward, obviously, along with our DraftKings stuff. Let's bust into today's, though.
Let's get it, man. I already got a few picked out that I really like, so let's do this.
All right. What are you looking at? Which ones do you really like?
Well, you want to just run through them all?
Sure, unless if you had a specific one you were really in, I wouldn't mind bringing that one up first.
Well, honestly, we talked about Embiid, on the public video about how fading him in tournaments is viable today, but still, give me Embiid over Bradley Beal on the spot all day, every day.
I agree with you. I think if you are just making the best play on paper right now, it is clearly Joel Embiid over Bradley Beal. Would you agree with me that almost you think everybody will think that way?
Yeah.
I think so too. So I
would rather not pick it than pick Beal.
That's fair. That's a good point. And I'm not saying that you're right to go at Joel Embiid, but we had a couple of theories today about why Embiid may not be great, and it's more because all the other guys in the Sixers could ball today against this quote-unquote defense of Washington, which is non-existent. So there is that. It's one that maybe if you went the other way, it could be a way to get like a whole pick on the entire field. Now, I'm not doing that. I don't think that way, and that's not the way that I make my picks. But I do think from more of a Matt type of breakdown, that could be like one spot. It would be kind of enticing, because I think everybody goes Embiid.
So I agree with you, but you can't just do that to do that. You have to like the play, right? And I don't like Beal over Embiid here. So, I get the logic. I love it. But for me, like I said, I would think not picking it would be smarter than just picking who you don't like more. Now, to that point, though, it's not like Joel Embiid is so much better than Bradley Beal that it would be crazy for Beal to outscore him. So the question is, they're having these two guys grouped together for a reason.
Right. If this game is competitive, which is tough, I would not be so flabbergasted to see Beal outscore Embiid. Again, I'm not doing it. I just want to make sure I'm very, very clear. I will pick Embiid over Bradley Beal here. But that's how I look at DFS. I usually just try to make the best plays on paper and not be over concerned about ownership. But I do think it's important, as we discuss this website more, that you kind of go through some of the ins and outs of strategy for people who might be here for the first time.
For shizzle.
Okay. I'm still picking Embiid, though.
I knew you
were. Harris versus Horford. I don't love going this one, but in a pace-up matchup like this, I like Tobias Harris better in this spot.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Bertans versus Rui. I'm going to take Bertans.
I'm going to take Bertans also. He's just a better offensive player right now.
He's a better DFS player.
For sure. He's also not bad at D.
I can tell you watch last game.
Well, yeah, I watched last game, and I know, were they talking about that on the game? I've watched a bunch of their games recently.
Dude,
So.
they would not shut up about it. The Wizards announcers were like, he is the most underrated. I'm like, all right, whoa, let's hold our horses. He's not Kawhi Leonard. He's maybe better than like the horrible reputation that he has, but it was like a central theme of that game. And I know we were really heavy on the Magic that day, and I know you were watching it, so I just kind of commenting on that.
Insert Homer, walking into Bush's gif here.
Yeah, we both watched that game a lot because we were so heavy on the Magic. All right, so we see these three eye to eye though: Harris, Bertans, and Embiid. Westbrook versus Siakam.
I feel like this one, like one of these is an error, with Siakam being in the next two.
Oh, yeah. We'll reach out to them over there and have them fix that. Maybe that's not an error, but I would expect that you're 100% correct on that one.
I'm going to go Westbrook and Capella over him, though. Honestly, I am.
Interesting. How come Westbrook?
Well, I just think that Westbrook's more needed for Houston. I think this game is really close. I don't love Westbrook over Siakam, and I don't love Capella over Siakam. Siakam is just one piece of Toronto that I don't love tonight. I don't know, man. Maybe the DK is getting in my mind a little bit. What's your take?
Maybe I would say because Siakam is Toronto's best player. I mean, I'm assuming that they're going to use him. He'll be a big part of this one.
Sure.
I don't love choosing him over Westbrook or Capella. Obviously, they made the play right here. So I think here's a better question: Capella versus Westbrook. If that was up there, who would you choose?
Westbrook.
Really?
Yeah, I would. For raw points, I would.
You like Westbrook tonight, then?
I kind of do, man. I don't know why. I don't
know why either.
It's just a gut feeling. I do know why. Because this isn't like exactly why, but I've been thinking about this all morning. There was a game a couple of years ago where Westbrook, when he was on OKC, obviously went in and just absolutely dominated Toronto. It was either last year or the year before. So I know he can do it. Again, that is no reason to play him tonight. So just because I'm going to throw my money away potentially, you guys shouldn't do it too.
And I'm here to talk you out of Russell Westbrook right now because what have we hit up the last couple of days that we hadn't discussed enough before?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I keep forgetting about that, man, especially here.
That is why we're going to bring it up on a daily basis.
You're so right that I would choose Siakam and Capella over Westbrook here now because of that.
Right. And so the point that we're alluding to or getting to that maybe we haven't discussed enough, and that's our fault early on, is this website scores a little bit differently than your DraftKings and other websites out there. You lose points on missed shots. I'm a huge Westbrook fan. I'm probably as big of a Westbrook fan as anybody, within the industry. The dude misses a lot of shots. He has a lot of possibilities to take negative points, whereas I think Capella's field goal percentage this year is 100%, right?
Yeah, he doesn't miss. He's never missed.
It's hard to miss shots when you only dunk.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're getting fouled and your name is James Harden, but that's a different story. I think I would take Siakam over Westbrook, and I think I would take Capella over Siakam.
So after the shooting points, I think that, the big men got to go up before Westbrook. Although Westbrook has the highest upside, I still believe that.
Highest upside for sure.
Yes, just as he has the ball in his hands. I mean, we talk about that a lot. So I will take Capella versus Siakam's really tough.
It's rare upside, though, with Westbrook this year because James Harden's still a ball hog.
It's rare upside, but it's still there. Like he still has it in his back pocket. It won't happen that often, but it'll happen a couple games,
Yeah, again, Capella, I'm not surprised if he ends the year averaging more DK points than Westbrook.
I'm not going to be surprised at that either. It's a good assessment. I guess I'll take Capella here also. I'll stick with it.
Yeah, I've always been a Capella guy, and I know like over the last year or so, you've really kind of turned the corner as far as liking what Clint Capella offers.
For sure.
And he's not a dude that misses shots because he really only dunks and takes little baby shots. Now, me and you could miss those shots, but still, like a guy like him, he makes them almost every time. I don't know what his field goal percentage is, but it's got to be about 60, right?
Yeah, we're not 6'10", 6'11" either.
No, or athletic or in shape. I'm only joking around because I played men's league basketball last night, and I finally got like a wide open shot at the hoop from 4 feet away, and I back rimmed it.
Oh, God.
But I suck, so what are you going to expect? All right, back on subject. Jokic versus Brandon Ingram. And if you would ask me like a month and a half ago, this would have been the easiest pick all time. But it's a real flummox right now, and I actually think I'll go Ingram.
So the next few are a sweet spot for me. Definitely Ingram for me over Jokic here, no doubt.
I don't completely understand what happened to Jokic this year. I feel like I have to watch a little bit more Denver basketball to try to figure this one out, but he's just not the DFS superstar he's been since entering the league.
The only thing I'll say about Jokic that's been weird with him this year is he has some big games and games with really low totals. So that doesn't mean that he's going to be awesome tonight, but that also doesn't mean that he needs a high-paced game to be really good because he doesn't.
Well, he's not an up and down the court type of guy, which is part of our argument against Joel Embiid today.
Yeah, he's not either.
That's why we like Simmons so much today, is because this game was built for a high-energy guy like Simmons, not a half-court, watch Joel Embiid just be better than everybody that's out there. Again, there's nobody to guard him on Washington, so he's going to get his, but that's just kind of our thought process on that game. And Jokic is not much different.
You're right, man. I'd actually this is the spot. The more you keep talking about it, the more I agree with you. I would like Towns in this spot a lot more than Embiid.
Sure, or Anthony Davis.
Sure, just somewhat. Yeah, I mean, yes, and yes.
Give me a more athletic big man. Okay, I'm going to head on down to Drew Holiday against Devin Booker. This is another one, man. This is real tight. And if you would ask me to start the year, I'd say Booker every single time. But Booker's role on the offense just seems to have deteriorated a little bit. Not that he's not good. They just have other guys around to do it. Meanwhile, Drew Holiday continues to be the best player on this team since Zion Williamson is no longer around. I actually think I'm going to go Holiday here. Booker played last night. Holiday didn't.
I'm definitely going to go Booker. I like him here. They've been comparable, even though Booker has not been as good. I like Booker's spot here a lot. I'm going to go Booker.
Okay. Lowry versus Van Vliet. I'm going to go old school and stay with Kyle Lowry, who I still think is the guy that they want to be the premier backcourt guy out of these two of them. But, man, it really is kind of, Fred Van Vliet's really showed what a good player he is.
Yeah, they're both very, very good. I'd take Lowry here, but it's very close. I'm thinking about how one's 7K and one's 6,600 on DK, but that doesn't mean anything.
All right. Jamal Murray at New York, Julius Randle versus Denver. Two guys I have no interest in on DK, so I feel like I'd have to look into this one a little bit further. Who plays tomorrow? You said Denver plays tomorrow?
Yeah, Denver plays at Boston tomorrow.
Give me Julius Randle.
Oh, I don't like this one either.
No, I don't like it. Don't like it at all.
I'll go Murray, but I probably wouldn't choose it.
Ricky Rubio versus Will Barton. Both guys that you got to like what they've been offering so far this season. It's another one I'd want to make sure that Rubio's in for his full allotment of minutes. He didn't have to go too hard last. I think I'm going to go Rubio, though. I'm
going to go Rubio also. Just better game environment for him by a good margin.
All right, Rubio versus Saric. For me, this is Baines in or out tonight? Because if Baines is out, they just need Saric more, and then I would take him. If Baines is in, I'd probably go with Oubre.
I like Oubre no matter what here.
All right, RJ Barrett, Lonzo Ball. Give me Lonzo Ball. I think Alfred Payton's coming back tonight. Give me Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, give me Lonzo Ball too.
Barrett seems to hit a little bit of a – he's been unimpressive lately in my eyes. Again, I'd probably have to go back and look at this one a little bit closer, but I just have not liked what I've seen from him lately as much as I did a couple of weeks ago. He's a rookie. I'm sure it'll go back to being the other way in a couple of days.
It will, but I don't see Barrett as being a guy that we're talking about that's going to be some sort of all NBA guy at any point ever.
All right, Isaiah Thomas, who's also really not looked great lately, and Derek Favors, who's firmly questionable. I guess
Thomas had a good game last time out.
What did he end up with? You know what? I'm going to go with Favors if he plays, just because he's not going to miss as many shots as Thomas will.
He won't, and I'll go Favors too, but I think Thomas had 35 DK points in that game.
Okay. Mitchell Robinson, Paul Millsap. I'm going to go Robinson right here, play for a little junk time, and think that Millsap with a game tomorrow might hover closer to that 21, 22 minutes we saw him play the other day, as opposed to the 30 that he played in the most recent game.
I'm going to go Millsap because he's better, hoping that the game is close.
Oh, Millsap's definitely a better player. That's all right. Norman Powell versus PJ Tucker. If we liked Powell for the DK video, why wouldn't we like him here?
Right? Easy one.
All right. JJ Redick, Marc Gasol. Give me the consistency of JJ Redick.
This is a tough one. They're both like, very close, which is why they're matched up with each other. I'll go Reddick also, but it's hard because Gasol is a guy I was looking at all morning. So I like both of them.
Gasol keeps, he's been a little better recently. He's in a lot of less than stellar games. Reddick has just been so consistent over the past couple of weeks that I will side with that one here.
I get it.
All right. Gary Harris versus Austin Rivers. I think if Daniel House plays, this one's easy. I'll go Gary Harris.
Yeah, agreed.
So I mean, there's not a lot of desire to go to this one either way, but I'll definitely go Harris here.
What a weird one.
It is a weird one, and it's kind of fun having these weird ones at the bottom sometime. It gives you something to think about. It might just send you back over to DK or FanDuel to start looking at maybe what you were evaluating earlier. I know one of the things you like about playing on here is it does get you thinking about some of the DK matchups that we've been evaluating throughout the morning.
Most definitely.
So it can work both ways, guys. So that's what we got today. If you got any strong feelings, feel free to throw it in the comments section. Love to hear from you guys about what you're interested in. Best of luck to everybody tonight. And we'll see you guys in a little while.
Thanks, guys.